Have you ever woken up in the morning and thought, what am I going to do with my day? Maybe the house feels a little too quiet, or the hours seem to stretch out longer than they used to. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many of us, as we get older, find ourselves facing days that feel a bit empty, especially when we're living by ourselves. But here's the good news: it doesn't have to stay that way. Aging alone doesn't mean you have to feel lonely or lost. In fact, this can be a time to rediscover joy, purpose, and connection on your own terms. The secret: simple, daily habits that keep your body strong, your mind sharp, and your heart full. These aren't big, overwhelming changes. They're small, meaningful steps that add up to a life that feels rich and fulfilling. In this video, we'll talk about 6 essential habits that can help you thrive while aging alone. Whether it's finding structure in your day, staying active, or connecting with others in ways that feel right for you, each of these habits is like a building block for a happier, healthier life. And let's start with something simple but powerful: your daily routine. Now, you might think, a schedule, at my age. But hear me out. When we were younger, our days were filled with work, raising families, or running errands. We didn't have to think about what to do next. Life kept us busy. But now, without that structure, it's easy for days to blur together. One morning turns into the next, and before you know it, you're wondering where the week went. That's why a gentle routine can be a game changer. It doesn't have to be rigid. Just a loose rhythm to your day that gives you little anchors to look forward to. Maybe it's starting your morning with a cup of coffee on the porch, taking a short walk after breakfast, or calling a friend at the same time every afternoon. These small rituals create a sense of purpose. They tell your brain today matters. Take my friend Margaret, for example. After her husband passed, she told me the hardest part wasn't the grief, it was the silence. The house felt too big, the days too long. So she started small. Every morning, she'd make her bed, then sit by the window with her crossword puzzle and a cup of tea. On Tuesdays, she'd walk to the library. On Fridays, she'd call her granddaughter. Slowly, her days stopped feeling empty. Instead, they had little moments of meaning, something to wake up for. You don't need a packed schedule. Just a few intentional habits that make your day feel like yours. Maybe it's gardening in the morning, watching your favorite show in the evening, or writing a letter to an old friend once a week. The key is consistency. When you have a rhythm, loneliness doesn't creep in as easily. You're not just passing time, you're living it. And here's the beautiful thing: your routine can change whenever you want. Try something new. If it doesn't fit, adjust it. This is your life, and you get to design it in a way that feels good to you. Now, let's talk about something we all know is important but often put off: moving our bodies. I can almost hear some of you thinking, oh, here comes the exercise lecture.
But wait.
This isn't about running marathons or lifting weights. It's about something much simpler: keeping your body in the game of life. Here's the truth: our bodies are like old cars. Leave them sitting too long, and things start sticking. But take them out for regular little drives, and they'll keep running smoother longer. That's why movement matters. Not to look a certain way, but to keep doing the things you love. Whether that's playing with grandkids, gardening, or just getting up from your chair without groaning. The good news: it doesn't take much. A short walk around the block counts. So does stretching while you wait for the kettle to boil, or doing seated leg lifts during commercials. My neighbor Frank, who's 82, does what he calls commercial exercises. Every time an ad comes on his favorite game show, he stands up and marches in place. By the end of the hour, he's gotten 15 minutes of movement without even thinking about it. And here's something remarkable. Every time you move, you're not just helping your muscles, you're giving your brain a boost too. Studies show regular movement helps keep your memory sharper and your mood brighter. It's like a natural antidepressant that doesn't cost a dime. The secret? Make it enjoyable. Put on music and dance while you fold laundry. Take your walk where you'll see something pretty. Maybe flowers in a neighbor's yard or ducks at the pond. If your knees protest, try chair exercises. There are wonderful gentle routines online. Remember, it's not about how far or fast you go. It's that you go at all. Start small. Today, just stand up and stretch your arms toward the ceiling. Tomorrow, walk to the mailbox and back. The goal isn't perfection. It's simply reminding your body it's still alive and needed. Because it is. Let's talk about something that might surprise you. Loneliness isn't just a feeling. Doctors are now saying it can be as harmful to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That stopped me in my tracks when I first heard it. But here's the hopeful part: we can do something about it. And it doesn't require big changes. Remember how natural it used to be to chat with coworkers, neighbors, or the grocery clerk. Those little interactions mattered more than we realized. Now, we might go days without a real conversation, and that takes a toll without us even noticing. But human connection is like water for a plant. We can thrive without it. Here's what works: small, regular doses of social connection. It could be as simple as making your morning coffee date with yourself into a phone call with an old friend instead. Or waving to the mail carrier instead of just taking the mail. My friend Elaine started what she calls her 5-minute rule. If she's out and sees someone around her age, she spends 5 minutes saying hello. Most times it turns into a wonderful chat. Technology can help too, if we let it. Video calls with family, texting pictures to grandchildren, even joining an online book club, these all count. Don't let the fear of new gadgets stop you. Ask a younger relative to show you just one thing at a time. Before you know it, you'll have new ways to stay connected. And here's a secret: often, other people are just as lonely as you are, but waiting for someone to reach out first. That woman at the senior center who always sits alone. She might be hoping someone will join her. The quiet man at your place of worship. He might treasure a short conversation. You're not just helping yourself. When you connect, you might be helping someone else more than you will ever know. Start tomorrow with one small connection. Compliment a stranger. Call a relative just to say you're rethinking of them. Smile at someone in the elevator. These tiny moments weave a safety net against loneliness, one thread at a time. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went in there? Or struggled to recall a name that's right on the tip of your tongue? Those little moments can be frustrating, but here's what's fascinating: our brains are capable of growing and changing at any age. The secret: we have to give them something interesting to chew on. Think of your mind like a muscle. If you don't use it, it gets weaker. But here's the good news: every time you learn something new or challenge yourself, you're actually building new connections in your brain. It's like planting flowers in a garden. The more you tend to it, the more it blooms. Now, this doesn't mean you need to go back to school or memorize the dictionary. Simple, enjoyable activities can work wonders. Doing a daily crossword or Sudoku puzzle is like a mini workout for your brain. Reading, whether it's the newspaper, a novel, or even magazines, keeps your mind engaged with new ideas. Even arguing about politics with a friend, politely of course, gets those mental juices flowing. One of the most powerful things you can do: learn something completely new. It could be as simple as trying a new recipe from a different culture, or as involved as taking up painting. My friend Walter started learning Spanish at 72, using a free app on his phone. He'll never be fluent, but he says wrestling with those new words makes him feel alive in a way he hadn't felt in years. Here's something important to remember: it's not about being good at these activities. It's about the trying. When you struggle with a new skill or puzzle, that's actually when your brain is growing the most. So if you find yourself getting frustrated, that's actually a sign it's working. Try this today. Do something familiar, but differently. Take a new route on your walk. Brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand. These small changes force your brain to pay attention and create new pathways. The goal isn't perfection. It's keeping that wonderful mind of yours curious and engaged. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you stopped to appreciate the good things in your life? Not the big things like health or family, but the small, everyday moments. That first sip of perfectly brewed coffee in the morning. the way sunlight filters through your curtains, the sound of birds singing outside your window. Here's something remarkable I've learned: happiness isn't just something that happens to us. It's a skill we can practice, like learning to play the piano or garden. And one of the most powerful ways to cultivate it is through gratitude. Not the kind where we just say thank you automatically, but really noticing and savoring the good that's already in our lives. Science shows that people who regularly practice gratitude sleep better, have stronger immune systems, and even experience less pain. But more importantly, it changes how we see the world. Instead of focusing on what we've lost, or what's harder now, we start noticing what we still have, and that makes all the difference. Here's a simple way to start each night before bed. Think of 3 things that went well that day. They don't have to be big. Maybe your tomato plants finally bloomed, or a neighbor waved hello, or you enjoyed a favorite old song on the radio. The key is to really feel the appreciation, not just list things. Another beautiful practice is reflection. Take some time to look back on your life, not with regret, but with understanding. You might write down memories in a journal, or simply sit quietly remembering. My friend Rose keeps what she calls a life gratitude list. All the experiences, good and bad, that made her who she is today. She says it helps her see the patterns and meaning in her journey. This isn't about pretending life is perfect. Some days will be hard, and that's okay. But even on those days, there are usually small moments of goodness if we look for them: the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the comfort of a well-worn chair, the taste of a favorite food. Try this today. Pause right now and notice 5 things around you that you're grateful for. The chair supporting you, the ability to see colors, the air filling your lungs. See how that changes how you feel. That's the power of gratitude. It turns what we have into enough, and more. There's a secret about getting older that nobody tells you: the more you give to others, the more you get back. Now, I don't mean money or gifts. I mean your time, your attention, your hard-earned wisdom. You see, helping others isn't just good for them. It's one of the most powerful ways to fill your own life with meaning and connection. Think back to when you were raising a family or working. You were needed. People counted on you. That gave your days purpose. But here's the beautiful truth: you still needed. Maybe in different ways, but just as importantly, the world still has a place for what only you can offer. Now, helping doesn't mean running yourself ragged. It can be as simple as smiling at a tired cashier, calling a friend who is having a hard time, sharing your famous pie recipe with a new neighbor. My friend Carl, who's 84, sits on his porch every afternoon and waves at every kid walking home from school. Those children may not know it, but that small act makes them feel seen, and it gives Carl joy too. If you're able, volunteering can be wonderful, but it doesn't have to be formal. You might read to children at the library once a week, drive a neighbor to their doctor's appointments, knit hats for newborns at the local hospital, or simply be the person in your building who checks in on others. Here's something profound I've noticed: when we help others, we stop feeling like life is passing us by. We remember that we still matter, that we have value, that our presence makes a difference in this world. And often, we end up receiving just as much as we give. Today, look for one small way to be helpful. Hold the door for someone. Give a sincere compliment. Share something you've learned with a younger person. These acts of kindness create ripples. They touch others' lives, and they all touch yours right back. Because here's the truth: you're not done yet. Not by a long shot. The world still needs exactly what only you can give. We've covered a lot today, but here's what I really want you to remember: aging alone doesn't mean you have to feel lonely or lost. These 6 habits, your daily routine, movement, staying connected, keeping your mind active, practicing gratitude, and helping others, they're not just items on a checklist. They're tools to help you build a life that feels full and meaningful on your own terms. You don't have to do everything at once. Start small. Pick one habit that speaks to you and try it this week. Maybe it's adding structure to your mornings, or calling an old friend you've been missing. Small steps lead to big changes over time. And please, be kind to yourself. Some days will be harder than others, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep showing up for yourself, just as you've done your whole life. You've weathered storms before, and you have so much wisdom and strength to draw from now. If you take away one thing from this video, let it be this: your life still matters deeply. Your presence, your stories, your laughter, they all ripple out into the world in ways you may never fully see. So, keep going. Keep growing. Keep finding little moments of joy and connection wherever you can. You've got this. And remember, you're not alone. We're all figuring it out as we go. Thank you for letting me be part of your journey today.